each other thrive. Politics and culture, oh what a blend. Join on the journey and let's set the trend.
Need for us to hope.
Yeah.
Spiro Sperum.
Yeah.
You know, whilst I breathe, I hope. And aspirations. What are
This
and
guy,
what are we?
This guy.
And what do we aspire to? Because again, we need to aspire towards something. There needs to be a goal, so we avoid being aimless.
Aimlessness.
But there are three things I want to address. Number one, and I already shared this with you, so I'm totally okay with just sharing this officially.
Let's hear it.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, you mean the teachers?
Correct.
Oh, well, the light in me sees the light in you.
Big shout out to all the teachers.
Yeah.
Thank you. The fact that you put in so much, just pure effort.
It's worth
better
it.
society.
It's worth it. Yeah.
I was listening. Pardon me. I was listening to a segment. Matt Damon, whose mother is a teacher.
Yeah, that explains a lot. You can kind of see anybody whose parents are teachers.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we may also find a short link. Where he is asked by a reporter about, well, what about teachers just like being like prima donnas, and then he just dives into it, and he did a far better job of explaining a lot of the details.
Yes.
But I just wanted to say this. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
I hold you in the same esteem that I do a lot of other service members.
Yeah.
And that actually does include individuals who are working for a lot of nonprofit agencies. Nurses. Yeah. Doctors who are just, volunteering their time.
Yeah.
This includes, whether it's
veterans,
the fire department, the volunteer fire department, especially now what's going on in LA or what has been going on, which has just been beyond human understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And it brings me back to, again, holding certain people in, high esteem, people who are willing to serve others without having that, innate individualistic perspective. And that includes, again, fire departments, that includes, emergency services as far as medical is concerned. That does include the police. That does include the military.
Sure.
Especially with, your father having been in the military.
Yep.
But there is something else that I also would like to say, apart from the many thanks.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back to the whole prospect of you wanting to, or you're looking to aspire to be an educator. I'm so glad you happen to find a place where you can educate others on a very big platform,
on a large
enough scale,
on a larger platform
to teach others about
the Prime Directives, that should guide you,
and how they should guide you. So there's that. So maybe you've already found your calling without even realizing. But furthermore, there is something, listening to you, there is something that I've actually found online. There was this one document that actually, and I'm going to address this by thanking Mr. Jon Stewart from The Daily Show.
Sure, he's funny.
And
I love his sarcasm. He's so sarcastic. Oh my God.
Perfect. And this document says, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect what? LLC? Union. It's in
the Constitution.
It's in our Constitution.
And it goes on to say provide for the general welfare. General welfare.
Yeah. So in the first sentence, it talks about unions and welfare.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. No, I know. It's people don't know their history. They haven't read the Constitution. They don't know where.
That's my case.
They don't know what the founding fathers actually wrote and said. They're not reading like the Jefferson Bible and the letters of Washington, and they don't have any sense of that stuff. They're just, most people, like we were talking about earlier, just trying to get through the day in an extremely unfair world. Like us, we're getting through the day too. And they're just trying to take care of the kids and do the best they can. So, yeah. As an educator, I hope I don't come across jaded. It is an honor, a deep, deep honor to teach children, because children have an open mind. Children are these incredible vessels of possibility. They are this untapped most precious resource that we have in the universe, on this earth at least. They are the continuation of dreams and hopes, and they will be traveling the stars. Young people will be. They're going to leave guys like Elon Musk in the dust. They're going to create the next Epstein drive or the next light speed or the next. They're the ones. They're going to
Dyson spheres.
They're going to discover the Dyson spheres, and they'll probably be the generation that actually does discover that there's life in the universe, and we make first contact, kind of a thing, official contact, and they'll probably be the generation. So I pour all my dreams and hopes into them. My wife and I never had our own kids, so I do live vicariously through them. And I certainly don't want to come across as like some jaded asshole or something, but it is just frustrating to see what is going on in my own union, with just some of the attacks that we're having to endure right now that are just, so unnecessary. And, my hope is that, cooler heads will prevail and that you don't see me on a picket line soon.
Well, hey, I did actually, if I may just, mention something you just said. And I'm going to completely state that this may be inaccurate, so I'm going to paraphrase. But isn't there an old saying that the world will be a better place when people start planting trees under which they will never, under which shadows they will never, or shades they will never sit?
Sure.
So if we plant things, if we plan far enough in advance to make the next generation better than
was that Thoreau? Was that Thoreau?
Honestly, now that I come to think of it, I'm not sure where it comes from.
Hey, if you know in the comments, enlighten us. I'm familiar with that one too.
Yeah.
It was Joel Silverstein. Was he he was the Giving Tree, right?
He did
the Giving Tree, which is
So it's really interesting because I think that's how I view teachers. You aspire that then you are looking to facilitate what the next generation needs so that humanity is better off. It's not I'm not doing this for my benefit. I'm doing this for the next generation. And if we had this attitude, this selfless sort of care, that's when the Prime Directive would really begin to show and bear its fruits, because the objective really is, I can only do so much. Now I'm passing that torch onto you, which I've always been a huge fan of, the Olympics and the ethos of the Olympics. Because it is in a way a unifying.
Of course it is. The rings. You just think of the rings. They're connected. Yeah.
Not talking about Audi. Talking about talking about the Olympic rings.
And the corporate creep. Yeah.
So it is that passing on that torch
to the next generation. That's right.
And that torch, the prospect of the torch, Prometheus and enlightenment and light, and
that's right.
That to me has such a symbolic significance,
and it stands the test of time. It transcends societies, it transcends religions, it transcends all that stuff. That's right. That you can imagine the first ancestors millions of years ago, what it took to survive in a world with saber-toothed tigers and short-faced bears and things like this. You can imagine what it would have taken, the sacrifice it would have taken, the leadership it would have taken to make it past the ice ages. There's something very special in our DNA, and we're very special creatures. Now, if we would just listen to ourselves, right? If we would just calm the fuck down, quiet the mind for a few minutes, meditate a little bit. We can probably go through some techniques about that, but just listen to what the calling is, and then not let that artificial world out there turn you dark and corrupt you. And that's the hope. So I guard against that every day, and I'm not perfect. I succumb. I am not a perfect person. I succumb at times to the temptations of the flesh and other things, and food for me. Food's always been a big addiction for me. I've always had, I just love food.
Well, you go back to our ancestors, referencing scarcity of food, how unreliable it is. Just because you ate now does not guarantee that you're going to have a meal tomorrow. So I don't think
it's
that's
feast and
really,
famine. Feast and famine.
Yeah, I don't think that food is really, anything that we could ever consider.
How dare you want to eat?
Yeah,
you
exactly.
didn't. You didn't work 50 hours for the week and put money in your capitalist master's pocket. You don't deserve a burger from McDonald's. That will then poison you because the onions will kill you with listeria or whatever. Man, oh Jesus, that happened right here in the Springs. By the way, did you see that? That was the onion facility for the McDonald's was one that poisoned everybody.
Jeez. Well, I do want to just mention that when it really comes down to it, it is important for us to take a step back to consider where we are and have and kind of clear your thoughts, clear your mind.
Yep.
And going back, I'm sorry, there's one additional thing I do want to say. You said the handshake that no longer works as a meaningful way to come to an agreement. And what is that old Ronald Reagan quote? Trust but verify.
Trust but verify. There's one in the Islamic world too. It's trust in Allah but tie up your camel. Oh, well, there's one in the it
kind of follows the same principle. Doesn't it
does.
And I'm pretty sure Reagan said that it was during a meet with Mikhail Gorbachev at the time. This was in the 1980s, meeting the leader of the Soviet Union.
Man, you know that. Wow, dating yourself. Okay.
Oh boy. Yeah. And it's interesting too because that is a Russian proverb.
Oh, okay.
Trust but verify.
Trust but verify. Yeah.
Which is kind of nothing other than a joke.
Yeah.
Which literally means
don't
trust.
But that is a prime directive. You can trust up to a point, but then you got to verify that what you're being told is actually accurate. And then how do you do it?
So as we close the chapter, lend us your ear. The Prime Directive's calling, so let's pass a beer. The Prime Directive, where the laughter's alive. Society's reflections, let's help each other thrive. Politics and culture, oh what a blend. Join on the journey.